Hello friends, I decided to record a spontaneous video and share with you some of the books that I've recently bought and I'm looking forward to reading. Before that, I want to show you this wonderful bookmark with TolkEin on it.
TolkEin.
It's keen, sir.
What?
It's pronounced Tolkien.
Here we go. I was so excited to find this bookmark, and I love Tolkien, and there is a book about Tolkien and the Middle Earth on this list, so I think it is the last book that I'm going to talk about. The first book that I would like to talk about is actually this one. It's called Early Christian Lives, which explores the lives of the first Christian saints. Although I grew up in Christian culture, I don't know a lot about Christianity, and I thought that this book is a kind of good introduction into what the first Christian individuals, the first Christian personalities were like. I really like the description of this book. It explores how those Christian personalities devoted themselves to solitude, poverty, and prayer. I think all those three words are quite noble and virtuous, so I'll review this book and tell you what I think about it, and it will be in my newsletter, so if you are interested, consider subscribing to my newsletter as well. The next book is actually is the opposite of the first one, because it is Francis Yates's book called The Occult Philosophy in the Elizabethan Age. It is nothing too weird, because Francis Yates was actually Dame, which is the female equivalent of the title Sir, and she taught at the University College London at the Warburg College, I think, if I'm not mistaken, and she's an incredible writer. I've already recommended her book called The Art of Memory, which explores the history of different mnemonic techniques throughout the ages. It is an incredible book, very well written. I think I'll link it up down below, my review of it, so you can check it out. In this book, she explores how different writers such as William Shakespeare or painters as Albrecht Dürer, how they were influenced by occult philosophy. And I always found it really interesting, because from William Shakespeare to Jorge Luis Borges, I constantly noticed in academic papers that those people were influenced by occult philosophy. But of course, it is kind of a very strange subject, and it is good to have a book written by an academic to explore it. So once again, I'll review this book and let you know in my newsletter. The next book that I would like to share with you was actually the one that influenced Renaissance, and it is written by Leon Battista Alberti. It's called On Painting, and this treatise was used by Da Vinci, by Paolo Uccello, by Lorenzo Ghiberti, and every other great Renaissance painter that you can think of. It is kind of a guide on how you can become a great painter, how you can learn about depth, perspective, colors, shadows, and as you can imagine, it is kind of almost a sin not to read a book like this if you're interested in art. Every great art historian mentions that they were influenced by this book, so I decided to buy it, and luckily it is quite short, in contrast to this one, which is quite thick, and it is magnificent level. Oh my god, my books are flying away. It is the history and story of the first Romantics, how the Romantic movement began, and it starts with telling a story about Goethe, the writer that I really admire, who is kind of my intellectual hero. I can't tell a lot about it, but the reviews are by Simon Sebag Montefiore, who is one of the great historians of our time, also by Andrew Roberts, who says that this book is truly extraordinary. And as promised, the last book is about the Middle Earth. It's about Lord of the Rings. It's called The Science of Middle Earth, this book is a collection of essays about how Tolkien used science in constructing his fictional world. This world that Tolkien has constructed is so realistic because he used so much science when he was writing about it. This book also has incredible illustrations by Arnaud Raphaelian. Here is one of those illustrations. And the essays touch upon scientific subjects such as chemistry, linguistics, botany, history, and everything. All of these kind of like sciences that Tolkien used to create his fictional world. This was actually quite a spontaneous video. I just decided to stop here at one of my favorite locations and share with you some of those books that I'm looking forward to reading. Hope this video was useful to you. I wanted to make it short and sweet. And one last thing before the British wind will blow away my books. I wanted to say that I'll review all those books separately over the next few months on my newsletter, which will be linked down below. I recently moved to the Substack platform. Substack allows to create those audio versions of your articles. I decided to launch a separate podcast where I'm going to explore all the ideas from those books. So if you're interested, it will be linked down below. And I apologize in advance if I was speaking too fast or too slow, or if I forgot to mention something. I'm talented at sitting down and editing the video and then realizing, crap, I haven't said that. Anyway, thanks a lot. I hope some of those books will end up on your reading list as well. I'll see you in the next video, hopefully soon. Ciao.